At this juncture, I want to invite the Vice-Chancellor of our great university to the podium to read his press briefing address. A round of applause for him as he mounts the podium.
The principal officers of this university, our own former Vice-Chancellor, our deans, noble deans, directors, professors of this great university, the HODs, teaching and non-teaching staff, gentlemen of the press, our dear students, distinguished audience, ladies and gentlemen. I'm privileged to be here today again to address the press on another harvest, this time on a ceremony, being the 19th Convocation ceremony of our great university. On behalf of the management, our staff, our students, we are pleased to welcome all of us here, the 9th day of November 2023. Recall that last year we affirmed that we are going to be having annual convocation. And we did hold convocation in November last year, 2022. It is in line with that resolve that we scheduled this convocation immediately after the 18th convocation last year. The DOP released calendar and the management approved these dates, and that will remain our tradition. Before 19th convocation scheduled for Saturday, the 18th of November 2023, the dates for the 2024 convocation will be made public. Still on that, we are everybody pleased to inform us that we are making efforts to have two convocations in 2024. One will be held early, maybe first quarter or second quarter of 2024, dedicated only to the founding father of this university. Recall that we already informed you that we had a expanded management visit to the founder of the university about 3 months ago, or thereabouts. And she was not only impressed, but he reminded us of the obvious neglects. He was not very happy with the treatment our great university had been extending to him as the founder of the university. He has been honored by National University and the State University respectively, remaining only the university very close to his house, that's Esut. Permit me to turn to the paper I'm reading. I'm not used to reading. Our mission as management in this university is very simple, but very difficult. That is to relieve the very principles enunciated and propagated by the founding fathers. We were taught that once he started as architect, then every life of Esut, here we are having a series of computers, having fabrication of this, presently being used as a training course, and business, among several other constructs, are no longer visible. So, our challenge was to come and deal with the virus that had eaten deep into this research, these publications, and again, our resolve to conquer the society and expand the range of human capacity transmogrification. So, we now set out to do a number of things to improve the financial backbone of the university, to plug loopholes for all manners of malfeasance, and to advance the corporate image of our institution as well as activating faculties, directorates, departments to engage in efficient and sustained research. We already committed ourselves to expanding the backbone of our ICT and enhance effective utilization of human and material resources. We are aware that it will not be easy, but to say let's commence with the establishment of forging a very good alliance between the town and the town. And that was why we had to invite the Board of Center of Excellence in Engineering. And we are prepared to extend the Center of Excellence to all other faculties. And we know that the only way forward to forge consolidated research with a view to instituting employability within the university so that our students will not only have certificates, but will have high demand in the labor market, but also expand human capital development. So what we have done was in consonance with our vision and mission, basically to just continual academic culture and environment for advancing academic innovation, research, sustainable human capital development, and self-actualization in line with best global practices. Gentlemen of the press, I must pause to commend us for the effective reportage of the activities within this 1 year, meaning from November till now. We have enjoyed very cordial and continual relationship with the press. Even when we were under obvious attack from blackmailers, who were alleging one thing or the other, that we are basically unfounded, we stood by the university. We appreciate and thank members of the press for that. I try to itemize a few things we have to engage our thoughts and minds on. One is accreditation of academic programs. I'm happy this morning to announce that our accreditation from November, December last year, involving 23 programs from the NUC, came out successful. Out of the 23 programs, we had full accreditation in 21. And we had partial in 2. I think that was basically the Dean of Law is here. I know you will not like to hear this news, but it is true. The Faculty of Law had partial, and we consider that unacceptable and embarrassment to the university. And one in France, I think is applied chemistry or so, biochemistry. Microbiology. Those two nearly created the image of Esut, and it has never been in our character. We are going to reverse that trend. It's a virus coming in. Between 10th to 11th February last year, this year, 2023, the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria came for accreditation. And we are pleased to report that after that accreditation, we not only passed successfully in flying colors, but they increased our quota from 50 to 120. We proceeded to equally extend that to our teaching hospital. the house officers, the maximum they were recruiting was 50. We only moved their own from 50 to 120. We proceeded with medical lab. Medical lab was a big embarrassment to all of us, but happily, though, by March 2023, we got done with the accreditation exercise and we were able to move their quota from 35 to 120. Then, a number of programs were reaccredited by the professional bodies, and all of them, with the exception of, I think it was building that was partial, the rest were successful. And we started again. This time, we agreed at the Senate to unbundle funds into Faculty of Biological Sciences and Faculty of Physical Sciences. I believe DAP and our council member, Professor Ebe-Ano, I hope you have uploaded that in the amendment we are submitting immediately, that they are two separate faculties. We don't need permission of anybody. You only have to upload it in our website for attention of that. And we said, I know that Professor Ebe-Ano informed me that she had uploaded some documents through DAP. Yes. So we are now going to move to the next level of situating them properly to begin to function as autonomous faculties. We only agreed to unbundle social science and humanities, that is social science from Faculty of Humanities. But to succeed in that, we needed to add more programs so that the humanities, or us as it might be, will have full name to answer. Because now it is only English and literary studies that is hanging there. And they must be given their place so that they will go to where they really belong. So what we must do is to unbundle them. Faculty of Social Sciences will stand alone. And Faculty of, if you want to call it Arts and Humanities or Humanities, will stand alone. It was in line with this that we proceeded immediately to move for resource verification. And we embarked on that exercise with the hope that we will succeed. Because we have intention, and it must come to pass before the end of this year, that we are going to have Faculty of Health and Allied Sciences. We are nursing, medical lab, and later we'll start adding food, food science tech and all that. Food and nutrition will form a faculty. Before the end of next week, we must have completed movement of nursing to Agbani campus. And they will occupy the present building, the building presently occupied by Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Pharmacy must move to their permanent site before the end of next week. Now, when we embarked on the resource verification, it was in respect to unbundling of maths and statistics. So maths will be a standalone department, statistics will be a standalone department. Environmental management will be added in the faculty, environmental sciences. Then mechatronics will be a department. And lastly, history and international studies. Not international relations, so studies. Because you can't be hanging around political science that is doing international relations. So you are going to studies, which is diplomatic history, get it right. So these 5 programs went for resource verification. We are happy to report that all the programs passed that accreditation. Well, the letter has been handed over to somebody that is going to convey it to us today. We'll be returning from Abuja today. But to the glory of God, it's 100 over 100. More accreditation exercises are ongoing. We've had about 2. We are going to have more, about 9 or 10 again. In fact, it will be too heavy on us on 21st of November when we are expecting the team from nursing sciences, team from engineering, and team from medicine. For those of you that came from the college, I'm not expecting you to come and make any financial demand on us, because we just spent a lot of money on that college just in February this year. Unless you are telling me you have sold those things we purchased. Last year, we employed 73 staff for the college. I'm hoping they are not coming for staffing again. We are believing that this quota of 50 presently being brandished by nursing will be a thing of the past by the time we are through with accreditation. We've already committed a lot of resources and we're going to do everything possible. I'm not talking about engineering team. There are only people that you must pass. Remember last year we entered into a pact that when you fail accreditation, you should be removed immediately for being a cog on the way of progress. That one will no longer be, will not suffice. If you fail accreditation this time, you'll be removed and prosecuted. That is where we are now. And you refund all the money we gave you because it is wasted. Digitalization of university records. We have done enough. At least I know we have passed 65% now on scanning. And I wish to see this medium to thank the HODs and deans for being supportive. The crisis we are still having there has to do with space and access to materials. The basic challenge we had when we came on board was the issue of filing records. The record keeping we are having had not been too satisfactory. Some of the results we are looking for might be there, but where you see them, I wouldn't know who will have some courage to go and touch those dusty areas. But we are trying. We are giving ourselves timeline before the end of the year to achieve 100% scanning of all records of our students. So that once we apply for transcripts, we are not going to, if he passes 72 hours, it means that the officer involved will be buried. We want to achieve what most universities have been aspiring to achieve, but finding it difficult to achieve. I know we can achieve it. Remember, everything we are doing is based on the fact that you people said, and I believe it, that it is the Enugu State University of Science and Technology. I'm challenging the engineering faculty to come up with a proposal on how to generate alternative power supply. Electrical engineering, even computer engineering, mechanical engineering, we are challenging you. Come up with something. Let's see how we can get sponsors and generate and sell and make money. On network connectivity, during the last convocation, we mentioned to us that we are exploring NCC for intervention. Incidentally, when we were exploring NCC, we were looking for 2,000 desktops and 500 laptops and maybe cabling of some areas. Little did we know that the God we are serving had planned bigger. So when I pursued the matter, I got entangled with one of the directors, who incidentally happens to come from Ezago, and he took up the matter. The result of that issue was that instead of giving us those computers and laptops, they gave us broadband infrastructure worth 1.3 billion. From the report of the committee, they have already finished with mini-mass in 15 areas and cabling of some faculties. They will complete the work before the end of the year, and it has 10-kilometer optic fiber connections, which means that 10 kilometer is going to cover all faculties. Which means after that, nobody will be giving me any excuse that you cannot connect. It will be free broadband for 2 years, prepaid by NCC. We have equally finished the issue, the connections with MTN. The only amount outstanding is about 1.3 million, which you can pay even as I'm speaking now. But to launch it had two issues, two challenges. Number one, when we were consulting the pavilion, the contractor didn't know when they destroyed their fiber, optical fiber. We begged them at no cost to the university, they replaced that. In pharmacy building, the original contract awarded had no component of landscaping. So when we discussed with the management of Tech Fund, we insisted that our management has eye on aesthetics, and that we pleaded that the components must be advertised and awarded. That if they completed the work, that we will not commission it until we have the component of aesthetics. We have to do the landscaping. And happily, the ES and the management approved landscaping and they awarded the contract and gave it to a contractor who has started work. The little bad news was that when they were not constructing, they destroyed another optical fiber. So when they came to launch it 2 weeks ago, because they terminated already, the signal was not coming. Eventually, they traced it and found it. We now say, let it not be, the contractor didn't know. The ICT ought to have traced the line and be guiding people, but it was not happening. We now released 204 million, I think 204 million, and say immediate replacement, so that before Convocation, they can launch that 4G. So that one has been done, and they will launch it. And Airtel is now the service provider for the broadband, which means Esut will now enjoy 5G in the broadband and prevailing 4G for MTN. That one has been achieved already. Payment of staff salaries. If anybody is being owed, the person should follow us to the office and get paid. That is for month of October. We are not owing any staff emoluments. It's not magical. It is prudence and commitment and sacrifice. I've mentioned to you that I'm not afraid of anybody except the management team that I'm depriving of the entitlements. So that's why when some of you will stay in drinking houses and talking, what you do to VC, pointing at me, God has really pointed at you. You go down first. I'm not afraid of that one. The people I'm afraid of are these people seated here. I'm denying them the entitlements to be paying salaries. As human beings, sometimes they will rush and say, what is happening? I say, take it easy, I'm going to pay you, whatever. And all these things were approved by council. And VC is sitting on them. So I will request you to join me in appreciating the management team for the sacrifices. As of today, we are still having major challenges on that subvention. At the end of October, we will discover that local governments are still owing us unremitted subventions to the tune of 207 million. We have been doing enough, writing His Excellency, contacting the chairman of JAC to give this local government chairman to remit what they agreed. But it appears that it is not their priority. So we should be rest assured that the management will do everything to get that money from them, because that was a commitment. So we are seizing this opportunity to plead with indebted local government chairmen to help Esut by redeeming their indebtedness. They should not turn Esut into a beggar university. And I have to reiterate that even when we receive all these funds, the total fund accruable as subvention to Esut amounts to 204 million per month. And what we pay as salaries and sundry charges amounts to 440 million. So even if they all redeem and pay 204, we still have to look for about 240 million every month to pay one month's salary. That is why I become mad when we recklessly ask for staffing. Recklessly, if it is genuine, like in the Faculty of Environmental, is understandable. But some HODs with 20-something staff will be coming to small name. They are upon this. This place is not a place for rehabilitation. We only employ critical staff. If you come up, you must tell me how much employment is generating to warrant a new staff. But if you insist, I will employ and pay the person from your salary as your sacrifice as a Christian. So we are going to employ only on critical areas of need for the university. We are not on jamboree. Staff biometrics have been completed. Immediately, a week after, it will be up to 7 days after the convocation, the result will be made public. Then we'll see where we are. And whether there is a, this morning I gave directive to the CSO. We have more than 16 security personnel at Osoka barracks. What they do there, I don't know. I've given directive this morning that only 6 should remain there. The rest must be posted per man. Because they came to me 2 days back and said they needed more security. I said, but you have people that are not working for Esut and we are paying them. Bring all of them here. Only 6 must remain at the barracks. Let the rest come here. If we now look at the number that they are not enough, we know what to do. But we must maximize the ones we have first. The same thing with people we employed as HC, what do you call them? Technical HCO or what? We have more than 40-something. Where are they? I don't see them. I see only very few. I must look for them. If they are in their houses, they will go from there. So that the wage bill will come down. We'll now use the space to employ critical staff. Infrastructural upgrade. We are working tirelessly to get the pharmacy building, which is the largest in West Africa, to be commissioned before the end of the year. We are working on that. In fact, 3 of the contractors we have presently 4 modules. One is 95% completed. The other A and D, I think is about 85 or 90. Being confronted with the problem, Constance will be coming to disturb me roofing. Idogo, we are having problems. Agri, I saw it was said to me by one student where their legs were full of water while they were having lecture. I thought they were joking when I saw that picture. And we now rushed immediately, saw that it was true. Immediately, it was not part of our budget, but we had to do something. But we didn't borrow money. We now went there, tackled the management sciences, tackled education, tackled agri, and the Dean of Law, the SSG, immediately invited us. I didn't know it was a trap. So when we got there, the whole management saw that everywhere was leaking. In fact, the faculty officers room in particular was soaked everything. I thought he was inviting us to inform us that he had returned foreman, but for us to see what he meant on ground. In any case, we've taken some steps. We've almost completed the roofing. The only aspect remaining, they reported 1 or 2 spots of leakage, so which is going to be corrected. And another issue you must note is that this time around we signed maintenance as you have agreed to effect the contracts and live up to your own obligation. We signed that maintenance at no cost to the university will be for 2 years. So anything that happens to any of those things, any of those roofing, you are at liberty to inform the management. If the contractor will come back until 2 years to repair that. Then we have equally re-roofed and remodeled the binary section of the library. And we have completed that also. It is not going to sound as a bazaar for any place that is not leaking. Dean will come and say, what of my own? I know engineering will never come because their own is a new platform building. They will not come. I know Master will not come because a third front desk officer, so once the details are available, we'll work with the curriculum committee and DAP and template at the Senate for processing. But I've had physical meeting with them. Staff and students, discipline. I will first of all commend our staff. You know, we are not having several cases again, the way we had last year, which means we are recording improvement in terms of change in attitude towards doing a number of things. And while we are commending them, we are still enjoying them to do more. We still have some integrity issues to push forward. And to inform us that we are not going to relent. This time we are going to intensify what we are doing. We had a number of disciplinary issues. I wish to inform you that the department is being investigated with all the staff and students for sharp practices. There was an allegation that came to my table, and we set up a high-powered committee. We are looking forward to that report. Every day I dream that they are giving me the report. If they give me the report, we'll take decision within 48 hours. If all the staffs are culpable, all of them will go. If all students are culpable, all of them will go. We'll start afresh to review the department. But we are praying that they were exonerated. But the students wrote the petition. And if you read the petition, you will not believe it is happening in the university. And it opened my eyes again that probably it is happening in more departments. Please note that we are not going to tolerate it. As written on, they will be coming in on 15th. To do similar exercise, the House of Rep finished. Of course, there will be any visits without something going out of the coffers of the university. So we will start today again. We will start with the copy. The other one, okay, is from third fund. Another third fund will be coming on 21st. Auditor General's office will be coming on 21st of this month. So as you are nursing and saving money, it is being filtered away. So you need to know this. And the press need to help tertiary institutions to beg the National Assembly to allow us to concentrate and do our work. All these things for me are distractions. Because I've not seen any reports from oversighting that they've implemented. Immediately you have new people, they will come for something they shouldn't come for. Are you asking me that you are coming for 2008? Were you there in 2008? They said 2008, 2018, 10 years. Were you there? So, we've discussed this at the level of a committee of Vice-Chancellors. We've discussed this last 2 weeks ago, third fund. We were all worried about what all the tertiary institutions in Nigeria are passing through. They can write anything and invite you to come and face a committee in Abuja. You get there and face them normally. It's not this thing. You face them. Face it means face it. So please, the press should help us. That tertiary institutions are getting so worried that the level of distractions in all this oversighting is taking our minds away from the fundamental issues that are affecting the universities. Now, we are finished with DRS. We are going to meet with them remaining 26 million and 500 something million. If we can't pay, we fund the federal government. We have paid over 124 million already, and we are under pressure from is it the cooperative? They've been written me letters. I sympathize with you, but I will not use money meant for salary to pay cooperative. Remember, I didn't commit the act. Anytime any Vice-Chancellor does anything, go to the person and collect your money. If you don't grab the person, I will just put you into indebtedness and rush back to UNN. We know that anybody that will succeed us will be cruising. We will be cruising. We're not going to leave any debt for anybody. So, please, we thank you. Let me fast forward. I know we are getting tired, is it not? But we still have problems of infrastructure, problems of inadequate funding, problem of poor street lighting, epileptic power supply, lack of municipal services. But let me equally speak on security. You can never have the type of security we want in Esut without fencing Esut. We have been pleading since we came on board that you don't talk about security in Esut in isolation or fencing Esut. That is why we have some rampant cases of land grabbing, encroachment in Esut land. We've tabled our request to His Excellency, the Governor of Enugu State, and we are requesting for fencing of Esut. I saw every day I receive reports of thefts. The latest one that came I saw this morning was the one in the mechanical, where they went to remove a lot of things there, and they are facing accreditation on 21st. And who are the people receiving, removing them? Some of them are our staff. Anybody who gets will take that in and go home. 19th Convocation Ceremony. In 19th Convocation Ceremony, the graduates for the 2021-22 academic session is totally 11,377 from 11 faculties. The statistics, first degree will be 9,085, postgraduate diploma is 465, master's degree 1,177, PhD 650, totally 11,377. And of course, the overall best graduates from across all the departments and faculties is, we'll put MS because we don't know whether he has gotten married after being the best. Ikonia Babara Ijoma with registration number 2015 0301728112. The department, she is from the Department of Industrial Physics and Faculty of Applied Natural Sciences. The second best is Mr. Monano Ifena Chinedu from the Computer Engineering Department, Faculty of Engineering. The third best is Mr. Arun Tobechukwu Franklin. He's from Biology Education, Faculty of Education. Social Sciences. My faculty, there is their own. We are hopeful that next year you will do us proud. Honorary awards. Let me remark first that after this year's award, we are not going to have more than 3 awardees. After this year's award, we are not going to have in any convocation more than 3 awardees. The reason for having multiple recipients is because of the time between 2016 and 2021, when we didn't have convocation. Some of them were already programmed. So now that we have scaled down the number, we're going to maintain 3 maximum as recipients. And I need the gentlemen of the press to mark it. We have discussed it equally at the Committee of Vice-Chancellors, and we agreed that we should peg it at 3. So after this year's ceremony, subsequent convocations will have 3. This year, we carefully chose entrepreneurs, and they are 5 in number. We had programmed Chief G, Senator Chief G in fact, but as our founder, we decided to give him that honor and have a separate convocation, special one for him next year. So, number 1 on our list this year is Reverend Okolie Orachi. He will be receiving Doctor of Business and Financial Management honoris causa, MD of Copen Group. We're already doing something with him in the university in collaboration. We're going to sign it off. In fact, he's telling us that those people who went to bring from Aba, that he has all of them around him to provide. So we may have an admixture of Aba and the ones that will come from him. The second person is Mr. Saki Okumbo. We'll be receiving Doctor of Business Administration, honoris causa. And he's the country director of Shell Petroleum Development Corporation. And it might interest you to note that even if you fail to bring anything to Esut, there will be value added. At least for the first time, a helicopter will land in Esut. So don't park your vehicle at the field here. Don't park your vehicle at the field. The helicopter will land there. Number 3 is Mr. Ike Chioke, MD, Chief Executive of AfriInvest, Doctor of Financial Management honoris causa. Number 4 is Prince Engineer Ezife Uchenake Umeokeje, Doctor of Public Administration. Actually, he's a distinguished alumnus and nominated by alumni worldwide. So he will be here live. Number 5 is Emperor Bewu Chris Ibe, MD, Chief Executive of Bewu Foundation. He is coming here to receive Doctor of Business Administration honoris causa. Well, thank you so much. With this perspective, we congratulate on behalf of the management these distinguished Nigerians. We are looking forward to taking Esut from a domain where we are to public sector driven. That is why most of the things and practices we are embarking upon will be under public-private partnership. And that was in that spirit that made us to sign MOU already for greenhouse farming. We have signed it and we have allocated the take-off sites for greenhouse farming. And because it was signed late, it will take off early next year. There will be snail farming, all sorts of...
It is now time for questions and comments from the men of the fourth estate. Thank you very much. It will be okay. Let us get more questions from other colleagues so that we can take them in one swoop.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Timothy Bobo from Esut Monitor newspaper. So when you were speaking, you gave a list of challenges the university is facing. So we would like to know, sir, given the current economic situation of the country, Are there any plans on ground by the management to increase student tuition fees?
So, sir, you mentioned about the best graduating students. So my question is there anything like incentive in form of giving a scholarship for her to further her studies to master's level, then also employing her as a graduate student? Thank you.
What we are going to do, we decided before the convocation today. I don't know. You know the person that is the best elected student. We are just giving us suggestions. We have harvested the suggestion you are giving us. We are going to meet some. Remember that before now, the party has set up rewards for those categories of students. So we are going to look at those rewards in line with the present economic reality. You must not teach, but if the person has potential for teaching, you know. Remember that we were giving automatic employment within the year during the, I think, is it not only pharmacy and the College of Medicine. We know, guided by our spirit, whether to give automatic employment. But if you give automatic employment, the implication is that you must go for any service and come back before you activate it. But the decision is that of the management and in consultation with the planning committee. Definitely there will be a price for them, but we don't frame the price. We may frame the price, the person may decide on the law. Now, Emeka, we will talk about how we can reactivate issues of fabrications. That we've started the process already. And part of what we did during the year, during the past 4 or 5 months, was to go and bring all the equipment from Enugu to Agbani. All the equipment from the time we settled here, more than 60-70% of the equipment had been lying fallow at IMT. Now, presently being occupied by IMT. We spend a lot of money to go and bring all the equipment here. Because sometimes you may not blame a teacher if you don't provide the necessary atmosphere for the person to try. So if those machines cannot be there, and we expect them to fabricate. But the cost of bringing them was huge. That's why most of us have been dodging that possibility of going to pay and bring them back, but we've done that. And that's why I mentioned that we've established Center of Excellence as a concern that engineering. That Center of Excellence, I said, made up of the business community, the people that are think tanks from outside the university community and our own staff. The essence of that is to create an atmosphere for inventions and fabrications, for engagements. And the way you now do that, you now see naturally that all those things that all the lost glory will be revived. So we can assure you that those suits you met yesterday will no longer be suits you're meeting today. Those fabrications will come. I know that somebody like people in your radio station will only come and give us a few things to fabricate. And we are not going to do local fabrication. We are thinking about both local and global fabrications. That's what we are doing now. We must have done this before, but we must have to collaborate with international agencies in automation with a view to do something that has scaled up already, given the demands of the present world we are living in. And then if you are talking about homegrown, everything we are going to do will start from home before it can be grown. Because we want our students to do it themselves. Emphasis of the present management is on human capacity building. If you don't build and scale up the elements of skills inherent in every man, you cannot get the best from the person. That is why it is easier for us now to can mark and pick anybody who wants to come down the suit. It's not easy. You must have the capacity to do that. We want our students to exhibit high level capacity. We want them to go to the new service, their heads will be held highest. People will emulate them. So that's where we are going. We want them to do certain things themselves. And out of the homegrown, we are talking about engineering. It's not only about engineering. We want the education to teach us something that is localized. We want to redefine what is called impact factor. The impact factor on our needs, not on the needs of outsiders. Our emphasis is not really on going to satisfy the needs of outside world. I was trained not to be an agent of imperialism. And if you have read a book, Social Science as Imperialism, if you see a white man, you will start fighting. How to root and expose everything. So I want us to start here. Deal with our needs. Are we going to deal with their needs in agriculture? Or I want us to provide food. That's why we're actually keying into the program of the state government in the agricultural revolution and reinvention. We want to be part of that as an institution. We want to be a research institute in agriculture. We want to have all those things. Anything they now want to scale into a new state government platform, we must take one. So that we do it here. This place must be a very busy center of enterprise. Now, Magnus, you talked about, based on that, we only talk about collaborations. Broda, yeah, we have a gentleman from Broda in our Center of Excellence. We picked all of them. We've already scheduled a visit to Innocent Motors 3 times. This time we'll be either outside the country or near. We are working on it. We know that if we don't meet before we leave for Christmas, we must have finished that visit by early January. We'll discuss with Chinedu. What's the name of his automobile? We'll discuss with Ingrid. We'll discuss with him already. He's a member of the committee for this Center of Excellence. We'll capture them. The Tennessee is a member. All people from all spheres of life. We'll capture all of them, put them in the team that is already working. And we are equally working with Neil Dana. One of the directors will be here during the convocation too. And we are equally dragging him. Dean of Engineering is not here. We are equally dragging him to be here first week in December. I think that's the conference. We are dragging Neil Dana to come here too. Their own is about patents, show us the way, teach us the way. So that we go the way. That is how to get it. We must go the way. So to go the way, we must look at these research institutes and collaborate with them. And every day we see a lot of agencies flying India memorandum that they want to collaborate with Esut. You now ask them, what is it that is not driving them to think about Esut? Something is really happening. And we're going to sustain it. We're going to sign only the critical works that will be mutually beneficial to our university and to the goal of the university. Then, the oversight we are talking about. If somebody releases resources to you, the person should come and monitor the expenditure. That is why we have made it mandatory that once that fund releases any fund, we give it within that week to the contractor. It's not meant for Esut directly. It is for Esut to transmit and monitor the contractor. And we are doing effective monitoring now. You can go and see what probably was not happening before. All those contractors that have been doing procurement have been doing a number of things. We have forced them now. We'll go after this, go and see what to pack. We have forced them. As we are here now, we are being powered by a generator mounted this morning by Vista that will be dedicated to this building and the other building. It has been mounted, it's functional. Of what we have been using, we have gotten them to bring it home. We have gotten them to purchase it. So we have mounted it here. And the director of works, after this, go and make blocks and fence that place. No later than tomorrow. Fence in place and secure that the cable. The cable must be, you must do something about the cable. Otherwise, you will remove it today. You must bury it and use concrete to cover it. They will come and do it. That's what we are suffering all the time. So the oversighting from TEDFON is legitimate and we welcome it because it puts us on our toes. I oversight projects every 2 weeks. I move around to force the contractors to be doing what we ask them to do. And I've told them, don't give anybody money. Use the money to construct. We are not businessmen. Do your work. That's why you are seeing what they are doing now. And if from time to time, they normally send their team, they will come around, look at the project, make their report. If they fail to be satisfied on any stage with raise certificates, they will not release further money. They will not release. So we don't have problem with oversighting from debt fund. But when National Assembly will come in 2023, and ask you to go and bring document from 2008 to 2018, there are more to it. I have to tell you, we spend over 2 million plus to photocopy a document that will be burnt on submission. And I wasted 3 days that I would have used in thinking about my university. Went out, carried everything, paid for the transport, flew 6 staff, and got there. We await the results of that oversight. If you know you will do nothing with it, why do you distract me? Now, the same National Assembly, instead of oversighting debt fund, to oversight us, they are not coming directly to us. It's not proper. Then we have survived that one. The same thing we have done. Another arm of the National Assembly is coming on 15th. To oversight of lower house, oversighted. So we'll start all over again to photocopy. That they waste all the whole day. Following them, they will see all the structures. They will say, okay, other things will follow. That is the one we are worried about. We had this meeting, coming to a Vice-Chancellor, to express our discourse about the whole scenario. We already thought during this last, not up to 2 weeks, we met at Abuja, test from Vice-Chancellors. The issue came up again. Will these people allow us to rest and administer our schools? That's the angle we are talking about, and we are still maintaining it. We are being distracted. We are receiving tech fund on 21st. They are supposed to be coming. They are coming. They will come and ask you, can we see how you executed project? You take the ground, you take notes, take pictures, return to the office. So if you want to oversight fund, to give you those pictures, instead of coming to this place, go and legislate for the good of Nigeria. Concentrate and do your work. Let's concentrate and do our work. Tell them for to give you the documents from every university. They will give you pictures, reports. Now, another issue, so get it clear, we're not worried about oversighting funds, but we are getting a lot of distraction from the National Assembly. Challenges, increase in tuition fees. Whoa. I wouldn't know why you are so interested in the increase. But let me ask you, before I answer the question, do you really think 124,900 is sufficient to drive the students for 1 year? Do you really think? Just be honest. For 1 year, do you really think it is fair enough? 124,900. You take the students to continue going, graduate, and they give you certificates. So multiply by 4, that's the total amount paid. Do you think it's enough? In a country where a liter of a gas now is 1,000 plus. In a country where even my staff are struggling to come to work, to pay to fuel their bag, 650 naira per liter, 670 naira. Go to the markets, you see that they are giving you on television with inflationary rate of 26 points. It's over at something points. Have you gone to the market before? What you bought maybe 2,000 today is now 8,000. Go and price these stocks. They have reduced this company to maybe a Nokia. And it is equally good is happening because all of us contributed to it in one way or the other. When you allow an apprentice to be after administering, what do you expect? But you have the best brain of the world. That even staff are very blind to really vote. They will vote on sentiment. They will not vote on content. So what do you expect us to teach you if you are giving that way? When I say this, I will look at you to your face and tell you what I want to tell you. And it is always the truth. Students will not tell us that they are cheating them in the class, that they are taking money from them. I will be hearing it from security agencies that are working for us. You will not report to us. We are now after school fees. And let me seize the opportunity if I answer this question. Let me seize this opportunity to request all these, HODs, faculty officers, don't sell any book during the institution of the one students. no book, no manual, nothing should be sold. Things are hard. It's only when you get to the faculty level, you pay your faculty dues, you pay your departmental dues. Any other one is illegal. If they have handbook, is it part of the handbook? Faculties, do you sell handbooks? How much? Department, do you sell handbooks? How much? Okay, they say it's 500, I know it's how much. Please, faculty handbook is compulsory, you buy it. You buy it and the departmental handbook. Faculty departmental, any other thing they call book, manual, motivational, is don't buy. If they force you, any faculty officer that forces you, come and report to me. The person will go home that day. I've already mandated the registrar to have a emergency meeting with all the faculty officers. If I see any book, you are selling, you go home. Your duty here is not buying and selling. Your duty is to teach. Stay clear from my students. Allow them to read. Allow them. Now, to your question. I went to His Excellency sometime, about 3 months ago, and told him, how do we continue to augment subvention with over 240 million? We want increment in the subvention from state government. He asked me this question. Vice-Chancellor, do you think this 124,900 is enough to take a student for the whole year? I looked at him and said, you know, I wasn't too prepared to ask me that question. I said, well, it's not enough, but we have to be subsidizing education. We want more people to have access to education. If we increase it, it will spell doom. Many people will drop out. That even the 124, that NANS will be coming to tell me to allow students to write the exam without paying school fees. And let me make it clear. From this academic session, all examinations year 1 to final year will be held the same 2 weeks. I will end it. 2 weeks. Space. Now, we will not have enough space relative to what we have. We are adding 3 gigantic halls or more from pharmacy. You need to go there and see the wonders of the world. It's gigantic. We have other places that will be ready. So all exams year 1 to final year 2 weeks. Spill over the 3rd week, but we must end the exams, have time, end it. No longer stagger the exam again in Esut. Coming back to your question.
You've actually spoken a lot about some of your challenges, especially as they have to do with finances. I am a little bit concerned about this planned deduction of 40% from universities' IGL. I would really want you to talk about the implication of this kind of move by the federal government. Thank you, sir.
My Vice-Chancellor, I come back again because there should be a follow-up question. You know, the laws of this job issue rest. And that issue, it touched me when we were finalizing it. We are hosting the Senate President for the Convocation. And I'm informed that you will be here, physical present. Is there any way you can use that window to engage him on this impending trying to have oversight so as to reduce the pressure and allow you to concentrate on what you are doing? That's a kind of suggestion. However, the issue I want to address, ask you about it. I was in this institution when this school was producing the best law students at the law school. It took 2 years running succession. And during the course of accreditation and another issue that we read about faculty of law, which we were not comfortable with. I don't know whether you've forgotten those who are heading the law faculty have forgotten the Esut has to take the tradition of producing a good law student. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, coming to export percent from IGR from universities, federal universities. I call it extortion because since they came on board this administration, it has been collection, tightening on our necks. And if you check the lifestyle, and the spending spree, you will discover that why they are advising us to do something in terms of tightening your belt. They are wasteful. It started with 160 million naira each vehicle for members of the National Assembly. And you saw other drama that have been playing out. Another one came up again that they want to for laws with both. You have seen. Yes. So they are not talking about a presidential jet again. They are talking about ostentatious living. And the universities that are struggling as a social service sector, they are now saying, give us money. How much did you collect? Give us money. It's unfortunate, but as a social scientist, I will encourage them to go ahead and collect it. Because each time we now decide to embark on nationwide strike, parents and students will be against us. When they collect the money, we'll collect from the parents. We'll come full circle again. That thing they want to see, they will eventually see it. It may be the time the parents will rise up and say, we now support you to do the needful. So for me, the implication is far-reaching. I hope they will not contaminate state governors. They will not contaminate them into coming to tell us again to bring. And if they start it, that will be the end of scholarship here. Because even the ones we are trying to force out, we are now using them to augment subvention. Now, if you collect it from us, they are already telling us to revise the salaries downwards to meet up with the 60% remaining. And it will not go well. So we are seizing the opportunity to encourage and advise the government to receive that decision. It's not in public interest. Unless they are telling us that Nigeria is now serving private interests. So that it will be every man to his seat. You don't do that in a system. Why you move to a country like South Africa, when I was there, my faculty, the budget for my faculty in Johannesburg was higher than the entire budget for education in Nigeria, one faculty, by National Research Fund. The budget for social sciences was higher, about 2-3 times, the national budget for education in Nigeria. That is why in South Africa, they will be saying, my friend, you have 4 conferences to attend, your money is there. They will be forcing their staff to go for conference far off South Africa, and it's prepaid. Now you want to go for a conference, you spend their salary. You want to publish, you spend. For any publication in South Africa, they pay you. You go to Botswana, you see similar experiments. You come to Nigeria, they are collecting the little we have. Well, Bible is trying to fulfill itself, that those who don't have, the little they have shall be taken away from them. But that thing, the deeds equally add in the scripture. The implication when you take away that little from the poor. I think that will be fulfillment in Nigeria. Now, state committee. Well, I will remember that in my address. Engage the Senate President. But I don't want you to scare him from coming. You may publish something down that we are waiting for him. He will not come, he will send somebody. Let him confess And it's not only the management or the professors here that should engage you in question and answer time. Remember, he's talking about funding, so everything will come out clear. I think the press should equally ask probing questions so that he will explain. Because the title is on funding, he will touch on it, or he may dodge it. But if he dodges it, we'll remind him to address the issue and probably tell him the implications so that they will start advising the government. But let me equally underscore one fact. Even the 40% they wish to take, maybe they may survive. The reason is that they are paying the whole salaries of federal workers. Esut is paying our staff. So, if they are paying the entire staff and they are saying, give me part of what is generated, it could be discussed. But I know the matter will be discussed at the Committee of Vice-Chancellors, and we are going to take a position on that. But if we are paying our salaries by borrowing every month, and you take away that one we are using to augment, it's disaster. I don't think the state governor will contemplate that. In fact, the feelers from there is indicating that they are going to invest heavily in education in Enugu State. That's the feelers from there. And they are already mapping out a number of things they have to do to encourage us. So, but once they start that kind of thing in the state universities, not only in Esut, that will mark the end of scholarship, because there will be restiveness from staff, there will be restiveness from students, and when you add restiveness from staff and students, it will give you equals to close down. And we don't want universities to close down. We don't want distortions in academic programs. We want to forge ahead. And having said that, let me seize the opportunity to thank the university community and our distinguished professors and academic and our students that are here, distinguished gentlemen. The journey is just starting. Every day for all of us should be beginning of another good day. We are hoping that this year's convocation is going to reproduce bountiful harvests for all of us, both for the university and individually. Try to be there, fraternize and establish contacts with these people that are coming. It will help your career. It will help you.
Whether there's going to be award for best graduating student, there is an answer coming. From what we have here, a Nigerian based in the United States of America has put up an award of $1,000 for the best graduating student in the law faculty. So I think some other Nigerians can take cue from that and then state some kind of awards in other faculties and disciplines. So we take kudos to him. Now the next thing is vote of thanks by the registrar. I pray that we will make this happy so that we still meet up our 2 o'clock engagement at the research and innovation activity.
Thank you, the MC, our distinguished Vice-Chancellor, members of the press, the professors, and other select members. You are all welcome to the 19th Convocation Ceremony of Enugu State University of Science and Technology. We are proud of all of you being here. I thank the VC for the journey so far. We are just beginning, and by the time the present management will be exiting, history will be told of how we did our own. What gladdens me is that he said we are not going to leave any debt to the incoming administration. I thank you. We still have other activities lined up for the convocation. And please try and inform others. Attendance will be taken. Especially the one at Ahmadi Hall where the Senate President will be there, and then all other visitors. Keep a date with the alumni on Friday. It's very, very important, because last year's goal, all of us are aware of what we learned. This year's goal, they have packaged very, very well. And to cap it all, they are going to open a world-class alumni center. As we are going to the Access building, Access Bank, you will see it. Work is ongoing there. Thank you for coming, and we wish you come again. God bless all of us.
Our prayer is in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Holy and gracious Father in heaven, we give you thanks and praise for the success of this press briefing. We pray, Almighty God, to make the other events of this 19th Convocation ceremony very successful too, to the glory of the holy name, through Jesus Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father.
Yes, thank you very much.
Being an activist in a Pokemon you have certificate buying and selling? No. So, if you have relevant books, move it to the bookshop. Advise them if they need, let them go there, but there must not be any compulsion. Students must read, I agree, but they must not be compelled to read. After all students do not sign agreement that they must pass. So those of them that say they want to read, encourage them to go and get books and read. I support it. But I don't encourage you coming to say you must buy this particular book at this price. And after buying, you don't see the person again around the classrooms. So another semester, you start struggling for another course. No, that one will not happen. So we have gotten above that. So if we get anybody, and we're not sleeping every passing day, people that are thinking we're going to slow down are seeing that they're seeing more intensity. And that's the only way to deal with the situation. We are promoting a lot of staff welfare. Go and check. We have just finished spending close to 200 million in removing roofs, making their offices so comfortable, providing teaching materials, teaching equipment of modern status. So what do you need again that we don't have? If you have allowance, any bill that enters my office that is legitimate is paid immediately. So what again do you need? If you offer services, we pay you. We are not owing any external examiner. When we came here, they were already blackmailing Esut and say, don't go to Esut for external examination, they don't pay. Don't assess staff from professorial, going for professorial promotion because they will not pay. We came in, tackled over 30-something million, paid off everybody. So immediately you assess any person for promotion in Esut. Once I get it, you get your money within 48 hours. So nobody is complaining about non-payment in Esut. So what again? And we've sent over 25 staff on overseas training under third fund sponsorship. And so many just returned from Abuja just 2 weeks ago. 3 different batches have been going on refresher courses provided by third fund. Esut doesn't waste time on third fund sponsorship. We are ranking among the best in utilization. When we came on board, they stopped Esut from assessing staff training funds because they say the people that went for conferences didn't retire their money. We had retired all the money, they now allowed us to assess it and we are moving ahead. So about 25 of them are studying PhD programs abroad. So everything that anybody in Federal University will gain, before they finish processing in their bureaucratic level, we have already sent it. So our own is faster because within that week it enters. If it is 1 week, give it to the UK. So that is where we are going. But the critical point is about judicious management of resources and having the capacity to see where you can get genuine money and attract it to the system with a view to getting things work better.
Finally, sir, please, sir, just one more question. Please. Despite the economic hardship in the country, you are still carrying out these projects and infrastructures in the system. What motivates you, sir?
What motivates me is that anywhere I step my feet must change. And once you show commitment, God will show commitment to you. That's the motivation. Because how will it sound that I came on a journey to Esut, and when I left it was the same? It will not happen. But again, you need to go and check our trajectories. Where I have headed in UNN, everywhere changed. I'm born to change. Just like I was telling you that even if you don't have anything to benefit from this convocation, I would drop a helicopter down. Not landing it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.